before we get started, we got to give
there's a countdown. You can keep talking. That'd be cool.
well, I give you a shout out first. What's your baby's name?
It's Wednesday is when the baby's born, but it's gonna be Judge Elias.
Oh, so it's like next week.
Yeah.
Oh, C-section.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go hacking and chopping.
Yeah.
All right, didn't mean to scare you. Okay.
All right, welcome to T.D.G.S. Sports. We are back after a 1 week hiatus. We just had a few things that didn't line up last week, and so we are here to talk about the Super Bowl, which was exciting.
Well, Mr. E is the only one who actually knows why Lady Gaga was even on stage. So we'll start with that. Bad Bunny did all right. He did all right. I admit he put on a good show. I love that Latin beat. I do. I don't listen to the words anyways. I have no idea what he said. No, not a clue.
I can see. Yeah, I bet you were dancing. You're up in your living room, huh?
Oh yeah, I was getting down.
Yeah,
but you know
I can
what?
see it.
Hey,
I can see
it. You didn't understand half the things she said, but I think Lady Gaga was there just because she had some salsa lessons and she was trying to show off her new salsa moves. That's probably why
she was showing off. You know what it was? She had to debut that new nose that she has. She got a nose job. I don't know if anybody knows. She got a nose job.
It's hard.
Is that Lady Gaga? Is that
when
Gaga?
You don't have when you don't have any eyebrows, I mean, people are either. I mean, who's looking at the nose and the fact that she still has no eyebrows, right? You're sitting there going, "Dear God, what happened to the eyebrows?"
Let me not act like I'm bagging on Gaga though. She is ridiculously talented. I'll give her that. No matter what you think, how she conducts her personal life doesn't matter. She is a ridiculous talent as far as she can act, she can sing, she can do all kinds of things. But hey, you know what? That's it. I give credit where it's due, always.
Yeah, she
got a nose job.
She was born that way, right?
What? I see what you did
there. Yes, right. So Bad Bunny was the talk of the town, right? You guys out there in California officially have your Bad Bunny Day. How do you feel about that?
We did. You know, it took me a while to recognize Ricky Martin because he's finally looking old. Not old, but he was always so boyish. And, you know, I was like, is that Ricky or is that Ricky's daddy up there?
You know, he was singing old too.
Yeah.
Like he was trying to get his voice going. And it was like almost like Kickstarter. Remember back in the day when Michael Jackson was doing his spin and it was like in slow motion and he was just like, man, Michael Jackson got old. What happens? That's the same thing happened with Ricky Martin. Ricky Martin was like, he got old. It's like he can't even sing anymore. It's like, what's going on? Well, he's not living La Vida Loca no more.
Could he not sing? Was he getting old singing old, or could he just never sing in the first place?
Well, you're talking about Rick.
That's the way that you live in La Vida Loca, right?
No, I guess he's not living La Vida Loca no more. I can say that because it's like,
well, you can only do that for just so long till Father Time says, "Hey, bud, wrap it up. Time to wrap it up."
Well, let's see Father Time. Charles, you go ahead and show us that salsa dance you're doing in your living room with that.
No, I'm good. We're on a small screen. I can't do that.
No, you go ahead and step back by the USA jersey.
I'm still icing my knee from when I did that, man. I'm not going to be ready for training camp.
Yeah, I know. You should see Easy E on his favorite day of Friday. He'd be salsa dancing.
Hey, I got to bring some moves there.
We're in that hallway salsa dancing. Yeah.
Olympics, folks. The Olympics, the ladies today. Oh my goodness.
Oh yes,
gold medal.
And Hillary Knight killing it with that last minute goal to send them into overtime. She has been, I got to say, I know nothing of women's hockey. This is the first time where I sat down and watched it. And I said, you know, I told my wife, I said, I actually enjoy women's hockey. They must have got the memo that you got to be better to get people to watch the game, right? And Hillary Knight has been a powerhouse the entire Olympics. She has been killing it. She's been that kind of foundation for the team. And so when I looked down at my phone and got that update that she scored that last goal with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left
to tie it up,
to take into overtime for us to go in and absolutely murder Canada in overtime. Come on now.
And that was Megan Keller in overtime. I like, because I'm a defenseman. Actually, she is too. But that stretch pass to set her free, and then she undressed that back checker defenseman, and then that was a Mario Lemieux type goal that she scored to win that game.
But does that put pressure on the men now? Look, we got the gold now. You gotta go get your gold.
It does, and you know what? The men, as odd as it may sound, because you got the gold medal game with an injured Sidney Crosby, actually, who for Canada, so he may not play if Canada gets by Finland tomorrow. But this may be a little bit of a trap game for the U.S. men's team. They're playing Slovakia. They should win that game. Everyone knows they should win, so they might be looking forward to the gold medal game. So tomorrow, I think it's noon Pacific time. The men against Slovakia. Let's get that first gold medal since 1980. It's been a long haul, folks.
That's 1980.
Yeah, so they got to get that, and then I think the gold medal game would be on Sunday. That'll be the gold medal game. So yeah, I was in basic training at that point. No, tech school in the Air Force. We were all sitting in the day room watching that unfold as they beat the Russians, and then they beat Finland a couple days later for gold. Beautiful thing.
Yeah. And everybody since then has been dreaming about that hockey team coming back. And I got to say though, you made a good point with Sidney Crosby out. But my question is though, he's been old, right? He hasn't been the Sidney Crosby from about 15 years ago when he got drafted. And so the question is though, is Sidney Crosby more of a relic compared to say like Connor McDavid, who is out there, whipping ass, taking names like he usually is?
But I think Olympic hockey is a little bit different than professional hockey. It's a different setting. It's a different breed. So
I absolutely
his presence alone would inspire the younger ones to it's a different game. It's not NHL. So I think it's going to be a big hit for them.
Yeah, I agree.
You can look at Crosby like Steve Yzerman, kind of. So in Steve Yzerman's career was all about the dazzle and everything then, but the second half of his career, like the last 6-7 years, it was just the grizzled play, the strong in every zone, just playing really good hockey. And Crosby was always kind of that sort of player. He wasn't dazzling like a McDavid. Connor McDavid is just he's incredible. I mean, I watched Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky could play the game of hockey better than anyone. But as far as McDavid, he's like a ringer at a state tournament or something. You can't believe that he's doing that stuff against literally the best players in the world every night, and he outclasses them. Outclasses the NHL.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. It's being a Kings fan, right? We see those ugly playoff games, but you can't help but to sit there and go, damn, he's good, right? Yeah. You gotta admire what he can do, especially. And I like the Oilers of the fact that they keep getting stuck in the Panthers, right? I like that how that program works together, and I like how they incorporate the skills of Connor McDavid, not to be the showstopper of scoring all the goals, but to create space for the other guys, right? And so that allows them to move the puck and switch it around, which is why, though, I really enjoyed watching Germany, because my thing is would that team taken apart from each other be the same? So Germany was cool because you got to see Draisaitl apart from his crew, right? Draisaitl did great, but obviously that same connection was not there, and so he didn't get the opportunities that he usually gets, right? But still did great. We got to admire what Draisaitl was able to do. But it was fun to see that team kind of dissected.
Yeah, and Oilers have some issues though. They got to shore up. They still need some different pieces there with their forwards. They need better defense. We'll say they're going to wind up wasting the career of McDavid if they're not careful. And they need who's a goaltender? Who's a goaltender? Is it you?
Yeah. After last year's fumble with Skinner, it's like, what are you going to do? Because
Skinner.
He went in there and blew it.
They've had these placeholders at goaltender for the last 4 years?
Yeah, placeholders. And that's my thing. Skinner plays really good, and I guess they decided to keep him, but it's like you just got to let him go.
He doesn't play well.
Well, he has glimmer of hope, right?
Yeah, sure. I'd almost say you named
glasses half full. Glass is
A
half
weaker
full.
goaltender that ever won a cup. A weaker goaltender than Skinner that ever won a cup. Obviously, Skinner didn't win, but look at all the teams. You have some goaltenders who may not have been great for long, but they had a good window, and teams were able to win, like Corey Crawford for the Blackhawks. You know, Nikolai Hobby-Bulin when he won it with Tampa Bay. You know, guys like that. But you know, you can't win with Skinner.
Yeah, you can't. It's that's the same thing. You got to know you have a solid goalie, and that's the thing that we understood with Quick, right? Going into those playoff games, that we had a goalie that was the foundation of the team, you know, and could in those moments you needed him most, he was there, right?
Yeah. Well, the Kings, with Quick, you win games that you have no business winning. That's it. I still remember in 2013. Right when they played St. Louis in the first round, and you know they hardly scored any goals at all, and wound up beating St. Louis. It was Quick who won that series basically by himself, and the team all knew it. And I remember a very contrite Dustin Brown talking after like Game 5, I think it was at Staples Center, and he said, you know, we can't do this to Quick every night. We have to put more goals on the board.
Yeah.
They're winning games 2-1, 1-0. But Quick could do it, and that's why Quick is headed to the Hall of Fame.
Quick killed it, and that's what we had that moment, right? We didn't score a lot of goals then, but we got repaid when we took on the Rangers the next year for that cup, right? Because the same thing happened to the Rangers, that they left Hank out, you know, high and dry out there. So yeah, you need a foundational goalie, and that's what I liked about Hank. Hank was that guy for the Rangers too, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Hank had a team that routinely quit in front of him through his whole career.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Rangers games because I liked Lundqvist, and I saw the Rangers play a lot of games. And I remember thinking, honestly, if I was him, I'd address the whole team. I'd say, look, guys, either you guys start playing or I want out of here. And that's when Patrick Waugh, when he got fed up in Colorado, when he's gotten fed up in other places, he says, look, I don't mind doing the bulk of the work, but I want to win the game. That's what it comes down to. You know,
right?
But if you look at the NHL as a whole, how many elite goalies do you have across the entire NFL? I mean, the NHL. How many? It's like a lost breed. You don't have top goalies anymore in the NHL. It's almost like kind of like the NBA. It's like let's just score a bunch of goals. Let's make it interesting for the fans. It's like, you know, the lost art of goalkeeping.
Well, that is in cycles. That's true, because you know we don't have the whole. I remember Richard Martin Brodeur and Patrick Waugh and all those guys and Dominic Hasek were all in the league at the same time.
At the same time,
I get you. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
but and moving closer is you had like Luongo, who did really well for a while. Right. And then, you know what, I was sitting there the other day, I was sitting there going, man, what the heck happened to Hiller? Right, for the Ducks.
Jonas Hiller?
Yeah, what happened to that guy?
The Swiss guy.
Yeah, that took them to their cup, you know, and then that was it.
He didn't take them to the cup.
He didn't take them to the cup?
No, he did not.
Man, I get one wrong again. I'm allowed one per
episode. Get jiggy with it, man. Getting jiggy with it.
He was their goalie for so long. I assume that it was that guy. You're right.
Getting jiggy with it. T.D.G.S.
That's right.
Jiggy.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what happened to him either.
I forgot about him too. That makes sense.
I heard a disturbing interview with him though when they were doing one of those player exposés, and he was, and this kind of explains his career. He was talking about his goaltending, and he says, and you know what? He goes, this is a job to me. I'm not concerned with, being the best goaltender there is. This is a job. There are more important things in life. And you know what? But I'm looking at it. It's one thing if you're a player, a defenseman, a forward, or whatever. But as a goaltender, you have one job. That's to stop the puck. Why would you not want to be the best that there is?
Yeah.
But why not? If you don't want to be the best goaltender, what the hell are you out there for? That's like a field goal kicker who says, I don't really care if I split the uprights.
Yeah, well, it's the John Madden sense, right? He gets his cup, gets the ring, we're good to go. That's it. Yeah. And he becomes Tua.
You know what? And Hiller did kind of, I'm not Hiller, but Jaguar, he did drop off after 2007.
Yeah.
Remember, he just
He got
completely.
that cup. That's right. Because then that's when they picked up Hiller. I
And then
forgot
came
about T.D.G.S, to be honest
2008
with you,
was
though.
when he dropped off after that, and then came the era of what's his name, John Gibson, and the other guy, Swedish guy. What's his name? The other goaltender, Freddie Anderson. Doesn't he?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Freddie Anderson.
He and John Gibson were kind of a 1-2, and then Freddie gets traded, and then Gibson, he can't stay healthy for more than 8 games at a time, and that was it. And well, that's the way it goes.
Yeah. So moving back to the Olympics, though, right? Let's rein it back in here. We talked about Sidney Crosby out. Now the question is, though, what was a little worrisome was the overtime win that the boys got yesterday, right?
Okay.
That was a little close for comfort. And it seemed like, as usual, Austin Matthews did not play as well as we all want him to, and the Tkachuk brothers can only do so much.
Here's the problem. I looked at this, and you know what? I knew it was going to happen too, because Connor Hellebuck, who is one of those elite goaltenders, so to speak, but for me, he makes these spectacular saves, but in the moment, he's not. He's like Ryan Miller. He's like Cujo, Courage Joseph, or he's like Marty Turco, in that you just knew down the stretch he was going to give one up. Everybody knew it. I was glad they won in overtime, but that's the problem with Hellebuck. And if you look at his playoff performances too, it's one thing to play well, but you should be able to predict when you're going to have your big games. Like Patrick Waugh, big game, you knew he was going to be on. But Hellebuck, yeah, he may be on. He's normally good. He's sound. But when you got someone who can just shut the net down, like Patrick Waugh did, who walk in and say, "Hey boys," walk into his own locker room, say, "Hey boys, you guys figure out who's going to score because I'm not letting any in tonight." That's it. That's what Patrick Waugh would say, things like that. That dude. But Hellebuck, I gotta believe in him for the next 2 games, hopefully 2 games, because 1 or 2, because if they lose tomorrow, I'm not going to watch the bronze medal game. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No.
No. I don't think tomorrow's game will be going into overtime. I think it'll be a good victory. I hope they don't go overly confident. I do, like you said, it could be a trap game.
That's what happened. I still think that's what happened. We'll take it back, another sport, but I believe my Dolphins in 1985, they could have played in the Super Bowl against the Bears. They lost that game to New England, and I swear they were looking forward to the Super Bowl. New England was an inferior team. They had Tony Easton at quarterback. The Dolphins should have won that game easily, and I watched it. They never got out of the blocks in that game, and I remember sitting there just waiting for this Marino core thing to happen. It's like, Duper, Clayton, for the love of God, come on, people. And the game it ended, and they never got into any rhythm. And I think they're looking forward to the next game. So watch out, Team USA tomorrow. Take care of Slovakia. Focus on the business at hand.
Yeah, I think that sometimes they get too ahead, especially after the 4-country cup last year, right? Is you're thinking about Canada, and I know I am. I'm thinking about how they're going to go in there and absolutely murder Canada. Right?
Well, in 1980, remember, after they beat the Russians, and then they had to play Finland in the final, they were trailing after the first period against Finland.
Yeah.
And Herb Brooks had to deliver a profanity-laced tirade in the locker room between periods to get them to start playing. It's like Russia was a few days ago. You have to win this game.
Yeah.
And he said, if you lose this game, he said, you will not forgive yourselves for the rest of your effing lives. For the rest of your effing lives, he said.
Yeah, and
they went out there.
Yeah, especially getting past that game. That was the kind of thing. Is like they got past Russia, and that was like the do we quit now?
Right. That was the victory.
Yeah. Do we get it? Anyway, right. So I believe wholeheartedly, man, that the Tkachuk brothers and Austin Matthews and everybody else on that team is going to come around and do well and click. I know for Matthews, right, he's got a lot riding on looking good during these games because this could kind of be a winning re-up in his contract, right?
He is not going back to Toronto. Trust me, he's out of there.
Okay, well,
out of there. But it's a debut because you know what? He's got to get the interest from other teams. But there's no way he's staying in Toronto. He was
yeah.
given the captaincy that he didn't really want. He hasn't really done anything ever since. I think there's a growing. He's going to just like Phil Kessel when he went to Toronto and other players. They wind up going there. It's no.
So he's out,
He
which
does
is
not
fine.
belong there.
Which is fine. 'Cause
Where would he be going?
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see who has the space to take him. It'd be nice to see him go to Edmonton, right? Can you imagine that? David, Draisaitl,
I don't know. I'm sure with
and
the way
Austin Matthews.
yeah, with the way that the Kings pick up all the old players, right? Him and Corey Perry could be on one line together.
Well, the Kings are going to be without Fiala now because he destroyed his ankle or his leg in the Olympics. Fiala's done. He's done for the year.
He's done for the year?
He's done for the year. Yes. Yep.
Ooh,
He is done.
Man.
Crosby
Okay.
may be out for the next game. I think as a precautionary, he may not play because the main thing is to play for the Penguins. But yeah, Fiala is done for the year.
That's crazy. All right. So next news of the Olympics, right? Let's move on. What do we think about the 40-year-old Lindsey Vonn trying to do what she used to, but not? Let's go ahead and watch this video.
Really? We're not going to. Michaela Schiffman doesn't get first?
You just go ahead and watch this video.
Yeah.
That's hurtful to watch. That's painful. That's my crush right there. My crush just crashed.
You had to fight Tiger for her, huh?
Lindsey Vonn.
Look at, man, she attacked this hill. I give her credit.
Olympic glory. I just know after the years of watching her, she will ski at her limit. The tone is set right here.
Oh, that's her right there. Oh.
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 Oh my goodness.
Now listen.
Well, she was already injured, though.
She wasn't even trying to get up.
Well, she was already injured before she started.
She was
damaged her ACL and then decided to ski anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Michaela
but she was in other races. She was performing well. She was doing well. She was actually managing her injuries well. And I had some expectations of her, even though she was in the 40s and she was injured and she was, running in. I still had some expectations for her. I guess my hopes are too high.
Well,
in her
no,
40s
I think you had
and injured, and that's when you manage expectations.
I didn't manage him well. My crush just crashed, and
I've been injured when I was in my 40s. Yeah, trust me. It's rough.
Yeah, what was that? 2 decades ago?
Yeah, it was 2.5. Yes. Yeah.
Anyway,
2
right.
ago.
So what? But okay. So going into it, right? Tears her ACL. Okay. Now on a slalom, the common thing, at least for me, is when you tear your ACL, you can only put weight on the one foot, right? Which means that was bound to happen. Why? Because if you could see that, she didn't even have the torn ACL knee. It wasn't even down. She put so much weight on that one foot and she attacked the hill like she used to, is that she just went in. You kind of cut it close. It was going to happen.
Yeah,
it was happen.
It was too. She was putting too much weight on her one side. She wasn't balanced well. And especially that when that curve came, it came fast and furious.
Yeah, and that's because she attacked it.
And the way she attacked it, and she didn't have any time to try to make any kind of adjustment. It was just like a cloud of dust, and she went down.
Yeah,
that's what happens in the NFL too. A lot of guys, it's like, they hurt their left ankle, they go out and try to play, and next thing you know, they blow out their right Achilles. That's what happened. The compensation injuries.
Yeah, exactly. It's a compensation injury. She was trying to compensate too much for it, and it was that run. It was a tough one.
Yeah, but okay. So hear me out, right? You tear your ACL, you slalom. At what point do you sit there and go, maybe somebody else needs a spot today?
Well, ego gets in the way. You know, I'm 40. I can still do this. I've been having some good runs. Let me try the Olympics for one. But I do understand. Let a younger person. You took a spot of a younger a person that can go in there, probably do something, have a better performance. But you don't have. You have this. You have the name. You have the star power. You know. You have an Olympic event. So it was a name that was going into. You know. So
Yeah.
you bring the star power into it, and she was having some good. It wasn't like she was having good trial runs when before the event, before she made it to the Olympic team. She was having some good runs, even with her injuries. She was still having some good runs. So she deserve to be on the team? I think so. I think she deserved to be on the team. Could she have left it for a younger person? Yes, she could have. But I think ego gets in the way. She had to prove to herself because of, remember what, 2 Olympics ago, was it? 3 Olympics ago? Disastrous run, same thing. She couldn't finish. So it's like, we have to try it again, give it one more shot, last chance. This is her last chance to some type of glory, regain some of that glory. And I do understand her point of trying to make this run. I don't care if she even cared if she medaled or not. I think if she would have had a good run and finished a run, she would have been happy with that.
Well, I think it comes down to, I mean, her name in history is already cemented as one of the greatest women skiers ever.
Yeah.
But I just remember what happened with remember the great heptathlete Jackie Joyner-Kersee. I remember when she was competing for her last time, and what someone said. I remember reading this. I can't remember the journalist who wrote it, but it was all this: should she compete? Should she not? And what he said was, well, at this point, she has earned the right to squeeze the lemon dry if she wants to. So there you go. And there wasn't a drop of juice left in there. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, go ahead.
Right.
But we can't tell anyone when to retire and when not to. And I just think that's the thing when you have, just as we learn, we grow, you get different interests. And, you know, on the other side, let me look at Jack Ham, great linebacker for the Steelers. And he played, won 4 Super Bowls, went to the Hall of Fame, has not been back to the Hall of Fame ever since he was inducted. And all the inductees are invited back every year for a whole dinner and gala and everything. And he said, you know, you have to get on with the business of life. He played, he loved it, he got the Hall of Fame. It's time for the next phase of life. Some guys can do that, some athletes can't.
Yeah, but you Charles, you and I, we're both beer league guys, right? It's like, at what point do you say, maybe I just need to, you know, move into the beer leagues and just, you know, do things for shits and giggles?
Yeah, but you know what? It's like I quit the beer league thing about 4 or 5 years ago because, you know, I realized I wasn't actually truly enjoying it. I was enjoying the fact that I could still get through it. That was the thing. I wasn't enjoying playing the game. I was enjoying the fact that, hey, look, at this age, I can still go out and play. And when I looked at it that way, I knew it was just time to quit. It's like, what, you're just going out and proving to yourself that you can skate around and play hockey for an hour and not die? Okay. That's it. But the joy for the game was just gone.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I didn't have that anymore. I love the game as a sport, but as far as playing it, no, it wasn't the same, just, you know, the same drive wasn't there. It was just something very familiar I kept doing.
Especially when the body disagrees.
Right. Yeah. And the body was like saying, hey, you know what? We had some great times, but how about we just take long walks and think about all the stuff we used to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't just drink more beer and get out there?
No, I was never a big drinker.
That's the whole point of a beer league, right?
Yeah, I get it. It's even named has beer in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like I've told housewives, I say, hey, look, the word house is in your title. So
yeah, I don't know. I guess at some point, right, if you're reaching that age and you know you could attack the hill still, I'm not saying she couldn't do it, right? I'm not saying that it's not in her cards for that. I'm just saying when you get injured, and especially in something like that where you need that mobility of both legs to carve into the mountain, that eventually you got to sit back and say, if I, you know, I'm gonna take it easy this time and hopefully come back in 4 years and try it just one last time.
But that's just the thing. In 4 years, now you're talking about 44, 45.
You can't take it. That was another factor when I
but look at where she's at now though, right? I get it, but you got to wage, like, you got the age, the 44, 45, but at the same time now you're missing your ACL and your knee. And
I understand.
There's no recovery from this one. When the ACL goes,
but maybe this is what she needed to say, okay, enough is enough.
That's what Joe Theismann said when he snapped his leg like a pretzel stick when Lawrence Taylor tackled him. And he said at the end of the day, he was a little kind of thankful, so to speak, that happened, because he said he knew his career was over, but he didn't know how to retire. And then once your shin snaps in too, it's like, okay, now I know how to retire.
What a retirement message, right?
Exactly.
And that was the other thing, was trying to take it easy. Is when you still have the problem is the body ages, but the competitive fire is a whole different thing. And it's like when I was playing, and I remember trying to play pickup and take it easy. And what would happen? There'd be some clown out there trying to like go hard at me and stuff. And I'm a defenseman. It's like, you ain't punking me ever. So I'd wind up playing harder than I wanted to. Then, the tightness in the calves and everything. And I knew something was going to snap if I kept playing. That was the other part.
Yeah.
But maybe
nobody gets the puck from me. That's the way it is. Nobody. You ain't just going to come and skate up and punk me. That ain't happening ever.
Maybe you can find her handle and send her an invite to come onto this podcast. Maybe that's in the future.
Listen, I tell you what, Easy E, I will go on X and I will try to ask if she will participate in our podcast.
There you go.
I'm telling you, what you're going to get is Michaela Schifrin come on here and wonder why you're not talking about her gold medal instead of talking about the washed-up 40-year-old Lindsey Vonn. How about that?
Yeah, right.
Man?
Well, you can go that. Right, you can go.
All going to have some stuff to answer to, man.
Yeah, you can go Breezy Johnson, right? Too. She killed it as well. So,
the dig next up Peekaboo Street, maybe, bring her on.
Yeah. So speaking of which, though, speaking of gold medals and talking about somebody that didn't get to the podium, at least didn't get the right medal on the podium, is what do you think of Madison Chalk and Evan Bates? Yeah. Missing out on that gold medal, right? There was some controversy that the French got a little help from a French judge. What do we think? Because I got to be honest, I have never been someone that's enjoyed like watching like that kind of ice skating, but that was the first time when they did the little like Matador like one where I actually sat back and went, dang, that's pretty good. I was fairly impressed by that, right? I know. But then they did it again and missed out on the gold medal.
Well, here's what happens. And I'll say this about figure skating. It's really funny because I don't think I watched figure skating. But I remember I saw a special on Michelle Kwan, who was out here in Orange County. And when they were going through the different steps of her life and everything, I said, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. So figure skating is something that we don't watch except for the Olympics. That's what it is. And if it's on, if you happen to be, they say Olympics, you turn it on. It's figure skating. Everybody watches. That's what we do. Yeah. We don't seek out the figure skating championships or anything like that, but figure skating is, for most of it, it's an Olympic sport, just like swimming. It's an Olympic sport. That's when we watch. That's when we love it. That's when we go, everybody's on Katie Ledecky or Michael Phelps or whoever it may be when it's happening. But outside of the Olympics, we don't really think about it that much.
Well, I think, too, though, with figure skating, we're all hoping that somebody's going to bash another person's kneecap in, right?
Well, Tanya Harding, God bless her, but you know what? Let's all watch Blades of Glory. Why don't we get a case of beer and maybe some doobage or something like that, and just watch Blades of Glory.
But right, so what do you think? I mean, I would argue
they got jacked, and this isn't the first time that the French have been involved in some type of scandals. I remember they had talked about having been pressured by the Russians to, and I think it was in gymnastics or wasn't in figure skating again, like maybe 2 Olympics ago. I can't remember when, but yeah, French judges, and they just have I don't know. It's the French thing. They just do things.
But not only the French thing, because remember Roy Jones when he got robbed in boxing, when he cleaned out and they gave him the silver medal, and he didn't even want to go to the podium to accept the silver medal because he got it was what was it, in Korea.
And the 1972 Olympic men's basketball team, I know. But see, here's the thing.
Also,
we know that the Russians cheat. The Russians always cheated. That's what they've always done. But the French are supposedly a neutral party. And they're being influenced by what? So who is telling them to to give favorable scores like they do? I understand the Russians cheating because I grew up during the Cold War. So this was the closest we ever got to going to war with the commie bastards with the Olympics. So that's why they cheated. They wanted to prove that they were superior, and were this actual war, we would win. That's what they were trying to say. So Olympics were just this hostile 2.5, 3 weeks. I loved it back then. I loved it.
Yeah. But the response though that the team did is that they decided not to challenge that.
Yeah.
The reasoning was they wanted to keep up the integrity of the sport for everybody.
Well, at the end of the day,
I think it's more politics involved than just to keep, and they just use the word integrity. It's a lot more behind the scenes, and it's like more political, and it's like we don't want to ruin it. It's just a gold medal. It's just a silver medal. It's just, I think it's more just keep it the political side of it. Countries open communication. Let's not let a game ruin our political communications because it is a big deal. It is, I mean, for country wise, when it comes to, so it's more important to keep our communications open than for somebody else to win a gold medal. So I think political becomes involved part of it, unfortunately, in the Olympics. That's
but
whether
Winter
Olympics.
What did we ever get from France except for a really flaky croissant?
But do we? But again,
if it wasn't for us, they'd all be speaking German, right? They would. We know that. We've never gotten anything in return. Where's the return on investment?
Or Italian, right?
Yeah, the worst return on investment we've ever gotten is protecting the French.
Yeah. Do we bend the knee to a country with a president who's married to a dude or what? Do we bend the knee to that one?
Okay, this one's spiraling.
I haven't thrown you a
Australia swirling the drain that way. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, right, is that the Olympics have been action packed, right? I have done more watching of the Olympics this year than I think I ever have in a long while. And usually if I'm watching the Olympics, I'm just watching hockey. In fact, so much so that I actually entered the ticket draw for the LA 2028 tickets.
You know, there's not going to be any hockey at the Summer Olympics, right?
I do, but I'm actually in it. I'm actually in it for the surfing, Charles, because you know me. And a few other things. I went back and forth on whether I watch flag football.
I'm in it for the gymnastics.
Yeah.
Actually, see, my hat actually has a gymnast on it.
Is that you?
My niece is an elite gymnast. She's going to be a Division I athlete, and hopefully, who knows, with a little luck, she'll wind up on that 2028 team. She's 16 right now, so she's right in the window. Right in the window. It could happen, but she's getting letters from Division I.
Be on that 2028 team? Is that what you said?
She could be. She could.
Yeah. Listen, so I entered that draw. You got to let me know because if I get that draw, I'll buy tickets so I can go see. We got to get a press pass for that. That's for sure.
I won't need a press pass. I'm family. I'll get in.
Yeah.
I'll probably get free gear too.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get free gear.
What do you mean we? White man?
Yeah, we're a team here, right? This is the T.D.G.S. Sports, right? We gotta have.
Yeah, we'll be out there in red, white, and blue jerseys, right?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. We can. Hey, listen, we go in the matching leotards too. It's cool. No worries.
No, I saw you at the beach in a Speedo out there in Huntington Beach once. That was enough. I don't want to see that ever again.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, I liked it so much. Like I've done so much. Like I'm definitely gonna try to be out there at that 2028 just because it was like this has been action packed. Man, I've been watching the cross country skiing, the biathlons. It's been, it's like I say, it's been interesting. That's for sure.
Biathlon, ski by shooting.
Yeah. Right. And I actually watched the dudes that
go in the hood.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So now let's get to it, right?
We haven't gotten to it yet.
No, we
This
haven't
is all
gotten
just
to it.
foreplay.
Yeah, it was
What are we getting
foreplay.
into now?
This was getting us all
I'm ready
hot
to
and
roll
bothered
over and
ready.
smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, let's do it, man. let's bust out the cigars and rock and roll.
Yeah.
Right. So Easy E, let's get the showdown on the Super Bowl. Recap it.
Super Bowls. I guess I was the only one that was excited about it. First of all, we did call that K9 was going to be the MVP.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And I think I did mention something about having some big breakouts and having some big holes and having some big runs, which he didn't have.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people was like, "Oh, it was boring. It was boring." You know what? I actually loved watching both defenses because I like the defensive side.
Right.
One, because I like to see how the offense adjusts to the defense. Now, I'm going to say this. This Mike McDonald, he's up there with the defensive geniuses. I'm going to call him a defensive genius. Why? As I was looking at Seattle, I saw a little bit of the fearsome, right? The fearsome foursome, LA up front. Then I saw a little bit of Chicago in the middle with Ernest Jones, aka the Samurai, in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? With the nickel defense.
Mike Singletary. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But then I saw San Francisco's secondary coverage a la Ronnie Lott. Their safeties. I'm like, this dude took a little bit of page of all these geniuses and he put it together because that defense was suffocating.
You could just say that in that defensive secondary, you saw Richard Sherman, Brandon Browner, Cam Chancellor, and Earl Thomas III. You could say that since they were in Seattle and won 2 Super Bowls, man. You could say that.
I could say, but they had a little bit more adjusting and coverage than like because there was no true blitz.
Mm-hmm.
It was either a 4-man rush, and once in a while he would send a 1-man on the side, right? There was never a full-on blitz, which was what's surprising. And then, but it felt like a full-on blitz. But then the secondary, everybody was covered.
Yeah, he didn't need to blitz.
I understand, but May, but here's I'm gonna give props to May because I gotta give May some love. And hear me out. Hear me out.
Bring it home.
Let's
hear me out. For 3 quarters, May didn't know what to do. He couldn't do anything. But in that last quarter, May discovered something. May started to get that short man and started taking, and for a young quarterback, 23 years old, to learn that quick, taking what the defense is giving me. Did you realize he ended up with 295 yards for the whole game? After doing nothing for 3 quarters, he ended up with 2 touchdowns. Yes, he ended up with 2 interceptions, but that's on the defense. That's and 2 plays that ended up killing him. But he did have them on the verge of coming back twice.
Now, we know about teams laying back in that prevent defense in the 4th quarter. They do that, and a lot of times it backfires, but that's what I think where he got all them yards. They had him shut down, and then it was just a matter of he can't get down the field enough times to win the game. So you just give him the cushions, make him take the intermediates. You can have a drive, but it's going to take you 5 minutes.
That first touchdown to Hollins, it seemed like Seattle didn't know. He caught Seattle off guard because it was a quick bam, bam, bam. Once Seattle went up, what was it, 19-0?
Mm-hmm.
And then he marched right down the field. That Seattle wasn't trying to give him some space. Seattle was trying. They wanted that 0.
Yeah.
We can't fool ourselves. Seattle wanted to shut them out because that would have been the first time.
They were playing like it.
They were playing like they wanted to shut him out because that would have been the first shutout in Super Bowl history. No team has ever been shut out in Super Bowl. and May came down the field, and it was like lightning. What, 4 or 5 plays, and all of a sudden Holland's touchdown? I'm like, okay, what happened here? 19-7.
Yeah, but okay, so let's play it this way, right? Is that I think that shutting down the Patriots was a given. It was going to happen. Why? Is because they are one dimensional, right? They have that, and you can argue this, but it's they have one move that Drake May has played off of all year long. And again, I said it every week, Charles. As I say, he's got that rollout and hit that tight end on that 5 to 10 yard out route, and that's kind of been his bread and butter, right? And when we know that if that's your one-dimensional move, and then you try to run the ball to think that's going to work, and it wasn't working at all. Giving the ball to their running backs, they got nothing all the time. And so if you shut down that out route, right, you've won. You were going to win the whole time, and everybody could see that. I saw that from the beginning of the year, that was the only thing they did, and that's what made Seattle kind of look a lot better than I guess. Well, they're good, right? Defense is great, but I think that's what really made them look good, is the fact that they covered the one route that Drake May relies on relentlessly, and there was nothing left after that. You could tell from the first half of the quarter of the first quarter, you could sit there and go, this game's over. It is. And if they score, it's like, as Charles said, they did the laid back on the prevent defense, and so it kind of just allowed those movement of the ball.
There were 2 things that I was actually surprised that Mike Vrabel did not explore a little bit more. One, he used Stevenson more over than Henderson, and Henderson is a more explosive player. I would explore him a little bit more, try to get a bit more, and he didn't have more design runs for May. I would have tried to have more design runs for Drake May, and maybe open up a little bit more of that defense to give him a little bit more room for his passing game.
Right, but that's the thing though, is that he thought I don't know if he played it safe, if the game plan was to play it safe.
I think he was playing it safe.
Even the running plays, it's like you would almost thought that they left a few guys open, thinking like they were going to get yards or they were going to get out before that the end crushed down on the play. But yeah, when he ran the ball, he did good, but instead he went back and got scared and did that one plan, that one play that they always have, whether it's to the right side or the left side. That was it.
But right? I think that was Vrabel. I think that was Vrabel's play calling and not Drake May. I think if he would have designed more play calling where he would involve more runs for May, and he would have used more, and with those designs, he should have used more Travion Henderson instead of using Stevenson, because Stevenson wasn't doing nothing. He wasn't gaining any yardage. And you have a younger player, more explosive, who can catch the ball, have more explosive plays. I think he would have. I'm not saying they would have won, but I think it would have been more competitive on the Patriots side. They would have it would have been more a closer game than what it was.
You know what happened, and that came out after the game, and there was a little bit of grumblings that the Patriots should be somehow penalized for it. But I guess Drake May, his shoulder was pretty bad before the game. He said he had to get his shot up. He couldn't even feel his shoulder when he was playing. So if you look at why he didn't have any runs, that's probably why. Drake May couldn't take any hits. His shoulder was actually really banged up, even though the Patriots hadn't said anything about it. And when you look at the strategy, both teams, that's why we talked about Walker having a big day. I knew it. They were going to come out, and the whole thing is Darnold's played well. We know that. But you know what? The whole thing is to win the game, not to showcase Sam Darnold. It's to win. So what you do, you have the superior run game. You got a better defense.
Oh, and
what we got to do here. We know the assignment. That is.
But I have to say also on the flip side, Sam Darnold, I think he played stellar, because that Patriots defense was it wasn't Seattle's defense, but they were bringing the pressure, and his play, he played superb. His reaction to that pressure was superb. No turnovers. He handled the ball. He did no turnovers. He made the plays. He made a couple plays when he needed to, when they were third downs at third and long. A couple plays that he hit Smith and Jigba. He hit Barner up the middle. Plays that he needed to keep it open.
Cooper Kupp had a couple of moments.
Cooper Kupp was on it. He was on it this game.
Cooper Kupp. Hey, I'm telling you, they were making the plays that needed to be.
He may not have been that X factor, but he was definitely that factor that you pointed out the week before that week, when we talked about it before the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, Kupp is at that point in his career where he needs to be, a complementary piece. He's not going to be the main guy anymore, but he's still effective when you use him the right way. Absolutely. He can still get open. He can still do it. He just can't carry the mail like he did earlier in his career. That's all. Well,
and I said X factor. I said making a couple plays, but I said he was going to be key piece blocking for Walker to have some explosive plays, which he did. He helped open some holes for Walker to get some them big holes. He had back-to-back runs of 30+ yards.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they could have given
him because if not for that holding, he would have had one that included a touchdown at the end. But you were like, that holding.
Yeah, that man. I tell you what, they could have given him the ball the entire time. He was killing it every time he touched the ball. Every time he touched the ball, he pushed that 5-10 yards easy, easy money.
He was going to, and then it looked like he was playing a different game because he was like just stop and slow down. It was like he was almost like stop and look at where's the hole. Oh, there's a hole right there. Let me go right here.
You know what? It took them until the fourth quarter to finally make this comparison. But when I saw him in the first quarter running, and it reminded me, I said, that's Le'Veon Bell. That's who that is. That's Le'Veon Bell. And it turns out he went to Michigan State. And I'm like, how did it take you guys to the fourth quarter to realize this? As soon as they said Michigan State, I'm like, mention Le'Veon Bell. And then they finally mentioned it in the fourth quarter. But that's the whole thing, picking along the line and then just finding a hole and just shoot through. That's just
shooting through,
Yeah, he has good awareness as far as finding that right gap to go through and getting to the next level, and not just one time, right? He's not that running back that occasionally gets there. He was that running back that always got there. This game.
Does Seattle keep him this year? This last year of his contract?
Yeah, they're going to keep him.
I would hope they keep him.
And have that two-headed monster, because you have Zach Charbonnet will be coming back also, and that's the thing is you need those two to get through the regular season, which is a grind.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, as we all know, if you wanted them to be healthy for the playoffs, you need to shorten the regular season, not lengthen it. But you know what? That's a whole other story, and it's about the Benjamins. We know that it's about the Benjamins. So, yeah, keep that two-headed monster at running back, and go ahead and look at this next window, this next 3 to 5 years, and go ahead and get yourself a few rings. Get a few rings.
Yeah. Seattle has it to make a little dynasty run right here.
Yeah. That's what we called it last time we were on. It was if they are a dynasty, I think they set themselves up in a good way. Especially pulling the most out of Sam Darnold has been I think the most interesting thing to me and the most amazing.
Sam Darnold's around. He's here to stay.
Yeah, they pulled a lot out of him. They figured out how to make him the best that he could be, and the calmest. Right? He just has that stupid look on his face where just like nothing's there, or they got him to be able to be calm the entire game. He
started out playing for the Jets. That's enough to break the spirit of any human being.
Yeah. Sure.
Enough to make you hate football.
Yeah.
What happened when Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets? Le'Veon Bell sat out a year and went to the Jets, and that was it. That was the end for him.
Yeah.
That was it.
That was all, yeah.
Jets are going to change their name to the Black Hole.
Yeah. No, that's the Raiders.
Yeah. Well,
they get copyright infringement if they tried to do that.
You'll start seeing people getting drafted to those teams going, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll just wait a few rounds before I get drafted to another team.
I'll be at a Raiders game next year. The Dolphins play there, so I'm going to be in Vegas next year. I hear the stadium is fantastic. I've only driven by it, but I hear it's great inside there too. So.
It is a really nice stadium, I have to say. It is.
I have not been to Vegas since they built it.
Well, they're gonna have Mendoza next year.
Yeah, poor kid.
A poor kid, because you know what? I don't think there's any. Looking at the quarterbacks coming out this year to draft, I don't think none of them. I can say that there's a quarterback that I think a team should build around.
And Max Crosby finally
Did they finish that?
admitting that he wants out of Vegas. I was gonna say out of the Raiders, whatever. But him saying, "What do you think about? I just want to play football." That's what he said. Which means what? What that's code for?
Which means he wants to come to the Bears.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's be honest,
crap.
right? Let's be honest. He deserves a better team, though. Max Crosby deserves a better team. Let's be.
He does.
Here. Yeah. He deserves to be on one that produces more than the
Bears or the Lions. I think that's where he's going.
No, the Lions already have the young kid. What's his name?
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, Hutchinson.
Yeah, you can imagine those guys as bookends, though.
No.
Hutchinson on the other. Oh my goodness.
Listen, I got a good deal here, right? Packers can fire LaFleur and pick up Max Crosby, and that way we have Parsons and Crosby. And
listen, wouldn't it be nice? Packers have Parsons, Lions have Hutchinson, and the Bears have Crosby.
Hey, yeah, there you go, man.
That would be nice.
Hey, what if you went to the Vikings though? Oh lordy.
It'd be another Raiders situation.
Lordy.
Right?
If it's like might as well stay with the Raiders.
Yeah, might as well stay with the Raiders. Sit there and watch
the Vikings
Jim McCarthy do nothing.
Vikings right now are the Raiders North. That's all it is.
Yeah,
gambled. The problem is they gambled on J.J. McCarthy. That's what happened.
That was a poor gamble.
And it's kind of up in the air as to who wanted McCarthy and who said get rid of Darnold and keep McCarthy, and we're rolling with this kid with the nice hair. I don't know, but
well, I think they thought he could move a lot better and he was a lot smarter, and I think that they relied on Justin Jefferson being better than he has been recently. I'm not saying he's not good.
Throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson.
What?
I mean, he may as well have Justin Peterson throwing the ball.
Listen, they could draft me. I'll take that. I'll take that 6-figure paycheck.
Speaking of Justin Jefferson, rumors are that he wants out of Minnesota.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
What if the Patriots pick him up and pair him up with Drake May?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then no, because then you still have the same problem. Because then you just have a one hot route receiver. That's it. Like what Diggs, he can't offset Diggs because Diggs isn't going to get Diggs is old. Come on,
get rid of Diggs.
Diggs is going to be in jail next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, get rid of Diggs.
You can't just have you can't see it. The thing is, Justin Jefferson's big problem is that he's been the only receiver on that team for a while now, right? If you
I know where this is going. He was the Packers, right?
He could, but again, we'd have to fire LaFleur, which would be so bad.
All
routes lead to Green Bay.
Yeah, all routes lead to Green Bay and LaFleur getting fired.
The Patriots have Booty and they have Douglas. You add Jefferson, that's a pretty good core right there. For a young kid like May, I think you're giving him a true number one.
I still think that they would roll with the same out route that they've been doing, and that's all they got. I still think that Jefferson would just be a guy on the team.
Jefferson, come on. Hey, what about A.J. Brown? Hey, the hot rumor is A.J. Brown out of Philadelphia. That may happen. Him and LaFleur almost went at LaFleur. Here, you got me saying LaFleur now. But
just say fire LaFleur at the start of that.
He and Sirianni almost got into it on the sidelines. They had to get in between. One guy grabbed Brown, the other grabbed Sirianni. So I think he's out of Philly. He may be out of Philly. So A.J. Brown floating around out there too.
I think he was that close to being out of Philly before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I think he's as good as gone, but I don't think where I think he would probably be going to?
Where's that?
You're not gonna like this.
What?
Buffalo,
yeah.
He'd be all right there. He'd be all right there, I think.
All right. He'd be going nuts up there because
listen, we still had the problem of can we tame Superman, right? Can we tame Superman? That's the one
Josh
problem.
Allen?
You have Superman, but you know what? Superman is gonna have somebody to throw, because remember what Superman did with Diggs.
What,
Now
not
you
make
have
the Super Bowl?
not
Miss
they
playoffs.
didn't make the Super Bowl, but individual stats. But with
He
AJ
was like
Brown, he just throws it up there, and then you have James. No, I think AJ Brown put up some numbers up there.
Again, though, if that's assuming that Josh Allen doesn't think he could do everything anyway, right? If Josh Allen's 20 yards down the field, he's not gonna be able to throw to AJ Brown.
Well, you remember how the Stephon Diggs era ended in Buffalo
Pretty sad.
with Josh Allen sitting there on the bench, Stephon Diggs standing 10 feet away, yelling directly in his face for about 30 seconds, and then that was the end. Because it's like, you can get a great receiver, but it's a dependent position.
That's probably
Josh Allen has to throw the ball.
yeah.
He
That's
has
probably
to throw the ball. That's the
yeah.
problem. He can throw the ball, he just doesn't. When he gets in crucial situations, his instinct is not to throw the ball, is to take off running. That's the problem.
and that's what happened to them.
Josh Allen has to get over that.
That's what happened to them in playoffs this year. And he just
Right.
he had that overtime, and it was awful. Nobody knew where he was running to.
Yeah,
The
and that
middle of the
wasn't the
field.
catch, right?
Yeah.
So where would AJ Brown go? To the Green Bay?
If we fire LaFleur, yes.
Yeah.
No, here's what it is, Justin. My Dolphins are going to take your actual good quarterback, and Jordan
Yeah.
Love is going to stay there in Green Bay and get exposed. That's what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Listen, I have
Willis
no
is coming
idea.
to Miami. Miami's going to make the playoffs, and you guys are going to be stuck with Love, he's going to get exposed for the mediocre quarterback that he is.
That he is. That's exactly the
what's gonna
point. But that's what I was saying, right? Is that Willis was their guy going into playoffs.
Yeah.
Willis was the guy, and instead they bring back Jordan Love to do what? The 2-foot like alley-oop
Well,
throw
the
that he
problem
does.
is that Willis took time to develop, and in the time when Willis was becoming a good quarterback, Love got up for a contract extension. That's what happened.
Love,
It's just the timing was bad.
but listen, no.
You guys made some bad decisions.
No. We remember that first game that Love got in, right? Love went in there ready to rock and roll against the Jaguars, right? Love goes in there and loses the game to the Jaguars right off the bat. It wasn't like a few games in, everybody was injured. He had nobody to throw it to. All the linemen, Bakhtiari was, dead on the field, right? It was, he went in there a fresh squad and lost that game. So I'm going to tell you this from the get-go is Jordan Love should have been fired there. They should have been looking for a quarterback. And to get Malik Willis, who was in a great program at Liberty, right? He was killing at Liberty. And he goes and plays for the Titans, whatever, and then like they get him. It's like Love shouldn't have got that contract extension because Love did not show that he was the guy. This was a Tua situation, right? Is they were just hoping Love would somehow get better, but instead he just got that look on his face every time he's out there that says, there's absolutely nothing in my mind right now.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And so when Willis came in, Willis utilized Watson. He utilized all the receivers on the field. And you could hardly know that Tucker Kraft was out because they were utilizing everybody on the field. And so it was nice to not just see him do that, but to see that ball fly in the right arc that a quarterback should have it and not play freaking basketball out there. Come on now. Get rid of Love. He's gone. We don't need him.
And we got your coach in Miami now, so he knows all about Willis. So yeah, Willis is going to Miami, homeboy.
And again,
I'm just curious to see what's Miami going to do with Tua. Are they going to eat up that $54 million?
I would go ahead and get him off the team. Just get him off the team.
Yeah, just tell Tua to go home. Tell Tua to go home.
Ship him to the Jets. The Jets don't need a quarterback.
Man. Listen, you could put Tua anywhere in the world. He wouldn't know where he was at. Not with all those concussions.
Well, I think they're going to release Hill. They're going to get out from under Hill's contract. So Jalen Waddle's the number one. And then I think they're going to release Bradley Chubb also, the linebacker, and free up a little bit more cap space.
They already released him.
They released Chubb, right?
They released Chubb and Tyreek Hill.
Hill got released 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But Hill wasn't going to return. That injury he got, you're not returning from that. You're not coming back. You're going to be
No,
slightly.
he'll be back. It's just not going to be he won't be back until about November. That's the thing.
Perfect, man. He can go to the Raiders or the Jets. Good
Or
for
the
him.
Packers.
No, they're saying
we'll keep LaFleur for that one.
They're saying he's going back to Kansas City.
Yeah, he could.
They're saying he's going.
Imagine, I mean, him on one side and Worthy on the other. You know, that's a lot of speed down the field.
Yeah, and then you have Travis Kelce crying in the middle of the field. Come on now.
Don't talk bad about Mr. Swift like that.
I am going to talk bad because Travis, I've never seen someone fall so fast, right? Travis Kelce went from being a mildly good tight end to the spotlight to a guy who's sitting there going, what is happening to my life right now? Come on now.
Yeah, well, he got a little taste of that little Taylor Swift magic, and that was it.
You know what he should have done?
Just like Samson.
Yeah, before he went into that contract, he should have asked Tony Romo what happened to Romo when he went out with Jessica Simpson. Come on now. We remember those games, right? What happened to Tony Romo?
We do. Yes.
Yeah. That should have been a call like, hey, Romo, what happens if you do this?
But see, Tom Brady started going out with Giselle and still was winning Super Bowl rings. But Tom Brady's a one of a kind. What can you say? He's a one of a kind.
As Tom Brady told Shaq a month ago, is that he'd still dominate the league. And I think he'd be right.
Yeah.
I think he'd be right. All right, here we go.
Where would he go, though?
Where would Brady go?
Yeah.
Yeah, fire LaFleur and bring Brady to the Green Bay. God, I don't know, man. Bring anyone but Jordan Love. Bring Brett Favre back. I don't care. Resurrect Bart Starr for the love of God. I don't even know where to go except for get Love out of there. Go somewhere else.
Is Brett Favre still alive, or was he finally found face down somewhere?
And he's probably laying in his tractor somewhere in Mississippi, wishing he had more.
He's somewhere in Mississippi.
What?
He's somewhere in Mississippi catfishing, you know.
Yeah, he's noodling. Yeah, he's noodling right now.
He's noodling.
Can't figure out where he's at. He forgot.
Oh boy,
man! All right, here we go. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Any final thoughts? Olympics,
final thoughts, boys. Hey, you know what? I just want football season over is always kind of bittersweet, but you know what? You just got to stay on the schedule, boys. It's just football is over. Then what happens? Baseball hits spring training, and then you got right when baseball starts. Then come April, that's when the Stanley Cup playoffs start. Stanley Cup playoffs end in June, and then right after that, OTAs start for the NFL. And before you know it, it's the Hall of Fame game, and then the NFL starts up again. So just stay on the schedule, boys. Stay on the schedule. We'll make it to the next football season.
We will make it, but hey, man.
And the NFL draft, too. That's when all the trades go down, is in May. Everybody's wondering who's going to do what with the draft. All these names are floating out here. Looks like
we'll definitely be covering. We'll definitely be covering
that one trade to watch at some point, and this is a little bit off topic, but one name that I'm curious to watch. Still young, only 24 years old, very talented, no mindset, but very talented. Anthony Richardson. I'm still waiting to see what's going to happen with this kid. Yeah. He has to leave Indiana. But I think he has a future somewhere else. A good coach that can get him in the right mindset because the skill is there. And I'm curious to see
how. Okay, but hold up.
You remember what happened to him? The exercise band snapped and hit him in the eye last year.
How do you come back? Listen, how do you come back from being replaced by how do you get replaced? Come on now.
Yeah, he has to leave Indianapolis. You leave.
After getting replaced by Phillip Rivers,
you start somewhere else. He can start with the Jets. Doesn't matter as long as they have a quarterback coach that can put him in the right mindset. Maybe he goes with KC and maybe he gets Bieniemy to get him in the right mindset. And for a couple of years, they're behind Patrick Mahomes.
Wait a minute. That's Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Oh, because they're going to start without Mahomes maybe this year, right?
No, let's put him second string to any old quarterback like he's been doing all year. So he's got Aaron Rodgers. He can sit behind Aaron Rodgers. He can sit by Tony.
You know what? You know what? You know what? You said that jokingly, but that might not be a bad idea because McCarthy's a good quarterback coach.
McCarthy's he's a great coach. I think McCarthy's going to do some
and if they bring him to Pittsburgh behind Aaron Rodgers, might be a difference for him, and have him, get him in the right mentality. He might make a difference for the Steelers. I don't know, because the skill set is there.
McCarthy went to Pittsburgh so he can get the Primanti brothers and get him a hero sandwich anytime he wants. That's what it really comes down to. Come on.
I think I'll say this right as we stay on the schedule and keep watching for football season. We'll cover the draft, that's for sure, and everything in between baseball and hockey. But I am going to say that I see great things. I know the NFC is only going to get a tougher schedule, right? And it's only going to get a more competitive. And so I see a lot of good things from the NFC as far as winning the Super Bowl moving forward, right? I think you got Seattle and everyone else just up in the game.
It's Philadelphia is in some weird space right now.
They got it. Listen, they got to do something. They got to do something with Jalen Hurts, right? Yeah. Jalen Hurts doesn't want to diversify his ability to play football. He wants to keep doing RPOs and those passes where he really can't understand why they keep getting intercepted.
I think their coach is smoking something weird too, because he's up in his cloud. It's like, who is he getting to who's your offensive coordinator this year? Because they picked a new one now.
Yeah.
So it's what the fifth offensive coordinator that Jalen Hurts has already so far. Yeah.
But again, he's not diversifying though. That they'll keep the cycle. Jalen Hurts, he's got to do something more than RPOs and those the 10-yard post routes. Again, he's really got only those two options.
I understand, but it's like you're bringing somebody new. So okay, what's going to be new this year? It's something's going to change. It's going to change. Like, okay, we're going to have to learn a whole new book. So it's like, whatever. Make up your mind when you're set. Give me let's move on with some stability. There's no stability there.
Yeah, again, I'm going to stick with the fact I think that this one's on Hurts. I think it's just him not wanting to.
By the way, since you're in the NFC East, I'm going to tell you this right now. It'll sound insane, but don't sleep on the Giants.
No, actually,
I see a lot from
sleep on the Giants.
Yeah, Jackson Dart, I think he wowed everybody this year.
When they get little Cam Scatterboo back,
Yeah.
And Malik Neighbors.
Yes. And maybe that's AJ Brown. Brown to the Giants.
He could, man.
Oh my goodness.
And that's seeing also who they pick up this year in the draft too. So
they're really not that far away. It looks bad, but they're not that far away.
They have a really good defense. Their defense is really good.
Yep.
And they got a good group of offensive players that they started playing very well. And a lot of the games that they lost, they didn't lose they weren't
right by 3 to 5 points all the time.
It's like it could have gone the other way too. So they have a really good team. They're not. I wouldn't put it past them winning the division this year.
Yeah, I still
think beneath Seattle, the NFC is kind of wide open, right? Kind of wide open. I mean, you got hope there in New York. You got hope for your Chicago Bears.
Definitely.
Williams is obviously just going to get better. We'll see what the Lions do.
Don't say it too loud. You got,
Yeah, listen, I agree with that one. Williams is only going to get better, and for the foreseeable future. And as a Packers fan, unless somebody does anything with Jordan Love, I think that the Bears will be on top for this one.
Don't do anything with him, like what? Trade him away?
Like get rid of him and get a better quarterback, and then invest and say, I don't know, another defensive end that could do more than Micah Parsons.
And get rid of LaFleur.
And get rid of LaFleur. Hell yeah.
It always comes back to that.
Yeah, get rid of LaFleur. He's done nothing for us. Nothing. He's gotten to the playoffs and then lost every time.
Well, he did the best thing he did was that first year with Aaron Rodgers when he decided to kick a field goal when he was down by 4 points and there was a minute to play and he was on the 2-yard line. That's an interesting, bold choice.
Right, but let me compare this one so we all understand that mistake, right? That's like Eberfleur ending the game with a timeout in his pocket.
3 times.
He did
that 3 times.
That's where that mistake ranks. You're now at the same level with Eberfleur's.
Well, same level. Then again,
that's your defensive coordinator this year.
If we pick him up, listen. I will personally fly to Wisconsin and tell the general manager to fire LaFleur and the general manager.
That's your defensive coordinator this year.
All right, boy. You know, this is what I love about sports. Sports brings everybody together. I say this again, people. It's just people, it doesn't matter your background or anything else. We can all get together around the love of sports and just, kick it here. Like our diversified panel. We got all these different shades here,
Yeah.
We got me and Justin on
the hue.
Yeah, the hue.
Yeah, we need to put you in the middle or something so we can just go from light to dark.
Yeah, I'll figure out how to rock and roll that one, huh?
Yeah.
You're right though. And I think that's the thing we always forget, right? Sports, we could talk about these teams and we could kind of be against each other. Like I'm a Packers fan, Easy E over there's a Bears fan. And we're constantly at odds, but at the same time, we're here, we're together, we're talking about football, we're having fun, it's a good time. Easy E actually got me this year to join a fantasy football league, which is pretty impressive because I've always been against that. So yeah, it brings people together. I love it. I love fantasy football this year. I mean, the guys in the league thought I wasn't real, but hey.
NFC people talk, it's like, I'm a Dolphins guy, so it's like, you guys say blah, 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 NFC, blah, 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 NFC. And I can talk about the NFC all the time because none of our roads go through the NFC to get to the Super Bowl. So,
yeah.
Hey, maybe the Vikings are great. Maybe the Packers are great. Maybe the Bears are great. It makes none to me. Hopefully, we meet you at SoFi in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
it's SoFi, and that logo is in Miami Dolphin colors too this year.
I saw a meme that said that the Super Bowl is going to be the Bears against the Dolphins.
I'll take it. It should have happened in '85, and we would have beat you back then. So we're going.
I don't know about all that. I don't know about
that Monday night game. In fact, at halftime, Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka almost went to
they went at it a couple times, but they were in the Super Bowl. We were unstoppable. That's not going to happen.
I think Tony Eason is still in therapy over that Super Bowl,
Probably is.
That was
he's probably somewhere where with Steve Bartman hiding in somewhere around the world.
I watched that Bartman game. And in fact, the whatchamacallit, the Marlins, they won the World Series that year.
Right? Won the World Series that year.
Yeah. Yes, that was the second one.
That is.
I watched that game unfold, and as soon as that happened, I was like, "That's it." And then just runs started crossing the plate. A little bobble here, a little blooper there, and before you knew it,
believe me, as a lifetime Cubs fan, that is unfortunately the most memorable game I've ever witnessed. And we won the World Series in 2016 after 108 years. Curse is over, and it still comes back to that one because we should have won in 2003.
Yep.
That one we were 5 outs away, and that one play just went.
I remember Bernie Mac sang the 7th inning stretch out there in Chicago too. He led it, and I have one friend though who was an Indians fan, and it's like all these teams, they have their moments, and the answer to the trivia question is Cleveland Indians. When the Atlanta Braves won their first World Series since moving to Atlanta from Milwaukee, who did they beat? Cleveland Indians. When the Cubs finally broke their curse and won it in 2016, who did they beat?
The Cleveland Indians.
When the Florida Marlins came out of nowhere in 1997 and won the World Series, Who did they beat?
Cleveland Indians.
At some point, you got to hang it up, right? It's that Cleveland curse, right? The Cleveland
now you can say which MLB has the longest drought currently in not winning a World Series.
Yep.
The Cleveland Indians.
Right.
Yeah, but
moving Major
also
League was
longest
after
drought
what
in
MLB team.
yeah, longest drought in NFL history too. Come on now, Cleveland curse, brother. Can't win a Super Bowl, can't win a World Series.
They can't win.
85. And you know what? You just think about that in Cleveland 2016. It could have been both the Indians and the Cavaliers winning in the same year. So the Cavaliers won the NBA championship that year.
Could have been, but
that was a reverse of the curse because the Indians actually were winning that World Series 3-1.
I know. Yeah. There's
They were
another
up.
one. The Indians once had a 3-1 lead in the World Series.
Oh man. All right. We got to wrap this up. Otherwise we'll keep going for another few hours. Right.
All right, boys.
So yeah, listen, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Okay. This is T.D.G.S Sports. We will be on YouTube. We will be on Rumble. We will be on, I started throwing things up on X. And I post this on Substack as well. So it'd be great if you go visit all those sites. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, pass it around, please, guys. This is the greatest sports show you will ever participate in listening. And it'll only get better from here. And we are signing off. Have a good night.